Hey there, in today's video I'm going to talk about vertical oscillation and using this Vaporfly 3 as a testing shoe. I'm making this video because I'm kind of making a series of videos about data and data collection for runners. I've called it Metricised Man. I've made one about ground contact time, stride versus cadence, and various ways of collecting the data. I'll link a couple of those at the end. They're all interconnected, but in this one, I'm going to go through vertical oscillation. As with all my videos, there are chapter markers down below, so you can skip on through to the bits you might be interested in. Let's get going. So what exactly is vertical oscillation? Well, Garmin defined it as the amount that the torso moves vertically with each step while running, measured in centimeters. It's important to note that what's being measured is the movement of your torso rather than your feet. There's a sort of suspension between your torso and your feet, but it's the torso movement that's actually being measured. Many running coaches believe that lower vertical oscillation is more economical because there's less wasted energy going up and down. If you take an extreme example, the 400 meter hurdles, the world record is 45.94 seconds, whereas the 400 meters straight is 43.03. So you can see, I mean, it's an extreme example, but the going up and down takes energy and it takes time. To go back to Garmin, they say, in general, more experienced runners tend to have lower vertical oscillation. However, faster paces often come at the cost of somewhat higher vertical oscillation. To kind of explain what they're doing, imagine an arc. So you have an arc with a set curve. The longer the stride length, the higher the arc is going to be. Now, one of the advantages of a lower vertical oscillation, or some of the advantages is, obviously you're landing from a lower height, there's less stress on the lower body at impact, and that leads to less injuries. Now for the science bit, let's go through some of the academic journals that I've been reading in order to get some basic scientific data to back up the gut feel. So we'll go through some of these, and again, there's links to all of these academic journals in the description. So, distance running performance depends on sustained, predominantly aerobic energy production and a conversion of this energy into forward movement called running economy. Now, I think the important bit is the forward movement, and this is from Running Technique is an important component of running economy and performance by Jonathan P. Folland, Sam J. Allen, Matthew J. Black, and Joseph C. Handsaker, and Stephanie E. Forrester, and that's from about 2016. So again, there's a link in the description, but the basic idea, forward movement, running economy. Some studies have found that running economy, RE, defined as oxygen consumed millimeter per kilogram per minute, while running at a constant speed under steady state conditions is a better predictor of distance running performance than maximal oxygen uptake is. Thus, to better understand and improve running performance, it has become of interest to determine the factors influencing running economy. So effectively, this is saying running economy is important, and this was the acute effects of reducing vertical displacement and step frequency on running economy by Kjartan, Halvorsen, and Martin Eriksson and Lennart Gullstrand from 2012. Hope I pronounced their names right. So that was another one that's down there. So running economy is important. There's a few quotes in this one. Runners with good economy use less oxygen than runners with poor economy at the same steady state speed. I think that's really important. If you've got good running economy, you're using less oxygen. There is a belief amongst practitioners that over time, runners adopt their most economical running style. Accordingly, high training volumes and the number of years of running experience have been suggested to be important for improved running economy. Now I'm delighted with that one. Lots of long years of running should mean that I'm better at maximizing my running economy. Should mean. Studies comparing the biomechanical characteristics of elite and good runners found that elite distance runners have slightly less vertical oscillation and had better running economy than good runners. So this is the nobody issue. Lower vertical oscillation is better. And that's all from Running Economy, Measurement, Norms and Determining Factors by Kyle R. Barnes and Andrew E. Kilding from 2015. And finally, well, for the moment, vertical oscillation is measured in centimeters, and most runners oscillate somewhere between 6 to 13 centimeters. It takes energy to move the weight of your body up and down, so the lower your vertical oscillation, the better. And that comes from What is Vertical Oscillation? Train for a more efficient and healthy steady stride by tracking vertical oscillation from the Sport Tracks blog. And again, there's links to all that in the description. To return to Garmin for a second, and I'm measuring everything on my 955 Solar and my HRM Pro. So they say vertical ratio. This reflects your running efficiency based on how well you propel yourself forward with each stride. Vertical ratio is the amount of bounce in your stride divided by your stride length, then expressed as a percent. And I think this is an important factor, important data field, the vertical ratio. And they also say, since stride length is the horizontal movement of running, it's the benefit of the action, whereas vertical oscillation is one of the energy costs of the running. A low vertical ratio number indicates a small cost for a large benefit. That means more efficient running. So let's look at some of the data I gathered using the Vaporfly 3. Speed is your stride length by your cadence, and there was a study by Jack Daniels, again link in the description, called Stride Rate, a Step in the Right Direction, and in that he posited that 180 steps per minute is a near optimal cadence. Now again, we're all individuals. We're all individuals. People go up, they go down, but yeah, about 180 steps per minute is near optimal cadence. My cadence is typically high. That's not where my lack of speed originates. In the Rotterdam Marathon in 2023, I averaged 176 steps per minute in the Vaporfly 3s. I like to compare my data to Kipchoge as sort of extremes, and he's obviously extreme positive end. And from the internet, the most reliable of sources, it says his average cadence is 185 steps per minute. So not that much higher than mine. But if you look at his stride, well, his stride is 1.95 meters. Maybe you were thinking like I'm thinking, well, Kipchoge's tall. Of course he has a long stride. Well, except he's not. According again to the internet, he's 1.67 meters tall, or 5 foot 6 inches. And I'm taller than him. I'm 1.75 meters, or nearly 5'9" on a good day with the anti-gravity machine turned on. My problem is I've short legs. As my mother used to say, when I'm sitting down, I look like I'm six foot tall. But when I stand up, I'm something of a disappointment. So yeah, my legs are shorter, but there's still a lot more to it than that makes him faster. For me to increase speed, I know I need to lengthen my stride without bounding too high and losing energy vertically. And to do this, I trained for that, and I also pick the right shoe. To give you an idea of the numbers and the effects, I'll go through 3 sets of data all captured on the Vaporfly 3. To look at some numbers, I went out on an easy day, 24.22 kilometers, 5 minutes 30 per kilometer, 8 minute 51 per mile. And I had a stride length of 1.04 meters. I had a good cadence of 176 steps per minute, an 8.1 centimeter vertical oscillation, and 7.7% vertical ratio. In the Rotterdam Marathon, where I ran quicker at 5:16, again measured on the Garmin, 5 minutes 16 per kilometer, 8 minutes 29. I had a 1.07 meter stride. I had a longer stride, and I had a 176 steps per minute, same cadence, and an 8.6 centimeters or 7.8% ratio. But in the critical one, I went out a couple of weeks before it. I decided to see how fast I could go over a kilometer racing my nephew, and in 1 kilometer I did it in 3 minutes 43 seconds, 5 minutes 59 per kilometer, and I had a much longer stride, 1.35 meters. I had a much higher cadence, 198 steps per minute, and I had a lower vertical oscillation at 6.9 centimeters, the lowest of the 3, and I had a 4.9% vertical ratio. So as I go faster in the Vaporfly 3s, my vertical oscillation and ratio goes down. It's trending downward the faster I go. To run faster, I train. I'm not trying to specifically change running dynamics. I'm training to run faster, and when I run faster, that will change the dynamics. And to do the training, I'll be doing strides, I'll be doing tempo days, I'll be doing time trials, I'll be doing easy days. Lots of different varied running to try and make me run faster and run faster for longer distances. But I'm also, when I'm out doing all of this, testing shoes, because I'm looking for a shoe that'll help me run with greater running economy. And the Vaporfly 3, well, it works really well for me. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, it would be great if you hit the like button. As always, there'll be lots of stuff in the description below, and I'll happily answer any question you put into comments. There'll be a big blue subscribe button popping up there. It's red videos there. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, just keep running along. So as I go faster in the Alpha Fly,